through, you're going to sit to your hip. Your elbow comes back by your side, and then you drive off of this foot. You come back up into your bear crawl, and then you go to the opposite side, all the way to the hip, hop back up.
Thank you for tuning in. Today I have the pleasure of talking with Professor Aaron. He is a black belt instructor here at One Academy.
Happy to be here, man. Thank you.
Thank you. So, can you share your rank and how long you've been practicing Jiu-Jitsu?
So I am a second degree black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, also black belt in Judo first degree, and I've been training since 2008, I believe, in both.
Awesome. What initially drew you to Jiu-Jitsu and why?
So I didn't really have any knowledge of what Jiu-Jitsu and Judo were. So the first martial art that I was introduced to was actually karate.
Ew.
And I got into that because I was bullied in school. My parents wanted to find some means of, helping me to kind of negate some of that. And so reading through some of that, I noticed one day that one of the trainers was a black belt in Judo, and it said that he was a blue belt in Jiu-Jitsu. And I've been watching UFC a lot with my dad. And so, the early UFCs, you got to see some of the Gracies kind of go in there and just demolish everybody. So I kind of had an idea of what Jiu-Jitsu was. Ended up joining into that gym, taking classes. At the time, it was really, really small. It was me, the guy who was teaching, and two other guys, and they were both huge. Over 6 foot. One of them was like 300 pounds. So I was getting demolished every single day.
Man.
But that kind of helped me to formulate a basis and just get some extra work outside of what they were doing in the wrestling room, because we didn't really have a wrestling coach who had that as his forte. So I just kind of used Jiu-Jitsu and Judo to supplement the wrestling at the time, and then it ended up being like a lifelong project of growth.
Do you have a favorite memory or milestone in your martial arts career?
The very first match that I had, I see the guy who was going to be my opponent. Obviously, I didn't know who anybody was, but he pulls up into the parking lot on like a Harley Davidson, takes off his leather jacket and his helmet, sleeve tattoos, and they tell me that I have to fight this guy. And I've been watching like everybody walk in, psyching myself out. So I realized that this is who I have to fight. And I'm like, oh man, this is going to be terrible. This dude looks super tough. I'm a kid, you know what I mean?
Right.
We ended up going through the match. Matches are, I believe, 5 minutes.
Right.
I'm already the smallest competitor in that division, so I'm a little timid in that regard. I end up winning in the last 3 seconds of the match. I had an armbar. My coach is yelling at me. He's telling me to like just hip in, go as hard as you can, try to finish. And the guy stands up, which if you do jiu-jitsu, is typically not the best idea.
Right.
And so he stands. I get the sub. The timer goes off. They actually had to check and make sure that I got the sub within the time. But that was a pretty cool memory.
I feel that I would, if I were to see it, that type of guy, and like, oh, you have to fight this guy in a competition, I'd probably be scared myself. So, props to you, man. How has Jiu-Jitsu shaped your personal life or professional path?
So, I would say that it helped to kind of sculpt me and my ability to kind of come out of my shell and find something that I could increase my knowledge base and then share that with people.
What is your vision for the future of Jiu-Jitsu, both personally and for the broader community?
I think for the broader community, what we, or a lot of us in a position such as myself, would like to see is it be embraced as an Olympic sport. We have Judo, we have wrestling, we have Taekwondo, and some of these other things. And I think the biggest struggle with that is the rule set. We have a governing body, the IBJJF, but we don't necessarily have like one grand unifying rule set at the time, as it is currently. And the progression has shifted a lot from gi to no gi, which is like the traditional uniform to kind of like tight-fitting shirt and shorts is kind of the norm now. And that's where a lot of people are making their money and being able to develop a career out of it. So the trajectory of things is kind of changing, but I think as a whole, we would love to see some form of submission wrestling as an Olympic sport with a unified rule set.
Any final thoughts or messages for our viewers or readers?
If you have the ability to go and check out a local jiu-jitsu gym, most places, even rural communities, there's some saturation. There's a couple of gyms in your area if you're willing to travel just a little bit. And like I said, man, if you can do jiu-jitsu, it puts everything else in perspective. It almost has like a therapeutic value to it. It has a community, a sense of camaraderie. So if you can put your child or yourself into a jiu-jitsu program or just martial arts in general, I think that can be a really productive environment for growth and well-being.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor. I appreciate it.
It's